Hello and welcome to In the House. If you just joined us, it is the current affairs program about Parliament. We're going to be reviewing what they've done all weekend. We'll be zeroing in on women, the matter of International Women's Day, what it's about, and everything that you probably want to know. Before that, as usual, we've gotten a few comments on our short code, and I'll read a couple of them. This was from last week when we had the Honourable Cecilia Abnadapa and the Honourable Albert Abongo on. And one comment came from Dr. Sicho from Pillar 2, and he said, I disagree with the Honourable Dapa when she tries to attach literal meaning to the President's last sentence in the House. Nana should apologize. And another one from James from Ashaiman, he says, we want water in our communities. We need a strong policy. If you want to send your messages to the panelists or to Parliament, or because we tend to give them to them, you can send it to short code 1443. This is for all the networks, and you prefix your statement with the number 3, and then you make your point. And we'll be glad to receive it. Again, the magazine is still here, In the House magazine, if you're interested. It's very interesting. We've got some write-ups and all kinds of things in there if you're interested about parliamentarians, what they're doing, and not only in Ghana, across the world as well. You can get in touch with us on 0289 531 852. That's 0289 531 852. Or email us on inthehousemagazine@gmail.com. That's inthehousemagazine@gmail.com. If you want a copy of this program, you can also call the numbers we've given or send us email and we'll negotiate that for you. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll be meeting our panelists. We'll talk about what's been happening in Parliament. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is In the House, a current affairs program about Parliament. Today we're going to be discussing issues with the Honourable Beatrice Boateng. She's the NPP MP representing New Drabin. And the Honourable Juliana Azuma Mensah, she's the NDC MP representing Ho, and she's a Minister for Women, Ho East, sorry, and the Minister for Women and Children's Affairs. Honourables, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have the minister on our show. You actually happen to be the first minister we've hosted on this program, so we're particularly welcome. First of all, as usual, is the custom of the program. We'll look at what's been happening in Parliament. Honourable, start with you.
Yeah.
So things that you've been part of or what you know about.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Let me say hi to all our listeners and loved ones. As usual, it is not different from previous weeks.
Right.
It's normally the questions that individuals ask about their constituencies. And for the week, I think the Interior Minister was invited in to answer some questions. Likewise, Chief Tansy Minister, then the Regional Minister for Brangahafo also came in to answer certain questions. The same with Trade and Industry Minister, as well as today we had the Road and Highways Minister. They all came in to answer various questions that had been posed by members of Parliament from their individual constituencies, and I think that's about it. Having said that, the whole week, I think the only statement that was allowed, that was accepted, was that of the International Women's Day, and it was done very well. It was tabled by our Deputy Chief Whip, Honourable Mary Boforo, which was supported by a lot of we the women and some men who also supported it as well.
We'll be dealing with some men before we get into the matter.
Okay, thank you. So we also have presentation of papers in the House. We had that some were on the credit facilities. That's the government's intends contracting. And we also had another one, fees and charges, amendments to them. And then we also had the consideration stage of the Petroleum Amendment Bill. Generally, I think these were the things that took place this week.
Honourable, you have a different situation of sorts. You're a minister and a member of Parliament. What do you know about what's been happening, or even in your own ministry? It would be good to hear a bit about that as well.
Yes, thank you very much for having me on our show. I would say our show because it's
That's good to hear.
is in Parliament, and in actual fact, I would like to say hello to everybody out there, especially my constituents who I haven't seen for a few weeks because I've been away. I don't think what I'm going to say will be different from what my colleague has said. And that's what pertains in every week, in only that we have some different items that appear on the order paper. I must say that for me, I arrived back from New York in the country late Monday night, and then quickly had to dovetail into the celebration of the International Women's Week. Now, I was aware of the statement on the floor of Parliament.
Okay.
I was supposed to come and read it myself, but then as a minister, you have to juggle your duties. And I thought Honorable Hajia Boforo should read the statement while I dash to another event which really also had to do with the International Women's Day at 8:30 in the morning. So I believe, as my colleague said, the statement was put on the floor, and all my colleagues, plus the men, also contributed to the statement.
Right. We're going to be talking more in depth about that,
yes.
But with regard to other things, the Petroleum Revenue Management Bill has been passed, yes. And then you're supposed to have finished with the Petroleum Commission Bill, not so?
That is going to be finished hopefully today. I think we still got Friday. A few amendments.
Still working
yes.
Okay. But has that been an interesting debate, or it was rather straightforward? It seems to, compared to the Revenue Management Bill, this has been rather quick.
Yeah.
Not so?
Yeah, I think it was in the Management Bill that we had so many amendments that at a point we were even advising that if they could be taken back and then some corrections were made. Right. Because as a teacher, I found it a bit sad. Because as a teacher, I cannot see myself marking a script with red pens all through, and then one is confident that it should be taken for a good paper.
That's how you saw the whole thing.
That was how I saw the whole thing, yeah.
Analogy.
But then that could not be done, and you are aware of the number of times that we met to discuss this amendment. But having said that, it was finally passed. Yeah. And as we normally say, there were a whole lot of issues that came up, especially from the point of Honorable
Saga?
No, it's
PC
Apiofori.
Right.
And I think that as much as he tried to convince the House about what he felt about that amendment, nothing happened. And as we normally say...
This was to do specifically with what you recall?
I think...
Was it something to do with GMPC, or that was not it?
No.
Because it came up in the news. Yeah. It's funny that it slipped my mind too.
Yeah, I think it has also slipped. But I think like we normally hear, and I've also come to witness, at times we are tempted to say, you have your say and we'll have our way. Right. So it has been passed, and we're hoping that it works better for the entire country, including all of us.
Other than that, I guess nothing extra exciting happened.
No.
Well, so we're going to be discussing the International Women's World Day. So we'll take a break. As soon as we come back, we'll get into that. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament. Luckily for us on the panel, we have the Honourable Beatrice Boateng. She's the NPP MP representing New Jabing, and the Honourable Juliana Azuma Mensah is the NDC MP representing Ho East, and she's also the Minister for Women and Children's Affairs. And we're discussing this matter of International Women's Day. As you know, it's been marked this week across the world. And of course, we're going to start with the Minister because she's experienced a bit of a travel, and then it's her ministry anyway. So we'll hear from her on the Honourable. So this week, like you stated earlier, a statement was made on the floor. What makes this year unique? And what's the theme?
Yes, thank you very much. As you know, 8th of March every year is given to women to celebrate Women's Day. I mean, the whole world celebrates Women's Day, and it's been passed by the United Nations. And we do that as such. And then, of course, every year there's a special theme that we use to celebrate and then deliberate on issues around that particular theme. As you just mentioned, I just came back from the UN, and we went to deliberate on the theme for this year, which is access to quality education. We are encouraging science and technology, which we want to propel our young women into decent work. So this we discuss a lot in New York at the UN, and it was more focused on what we can do to assist and encourage young upcoming ladies to be able to go into technical and science areas in the schools, so that, of course, we believe that will also pave the way for them to be able to have decent work in the future. So we discuss a lot, which we cannot.
So it means that you had people from all over the world there, other ministers, is that it?
Other ministers, other non-governmental.
How many countries, especially in Africa, have a ministerial position on women's issues?
Oh, I think we have about.
You have
10
other
or 12.
counterparts? Okay.
Yes, because we did even meet alongside the UN conference. We, the African women ministers of women and children, we met aside to discuss other issues that will affect the region, the African region. And then also the ECOWAS region, we also met, so all women ministers, of course, not everybody comes, but then all women ministers try to be there, as well as their representatives if they are not able to, and then the NGOs and the civil society who are sort of activists for women. They are all there, in New York for that 2-week period.
Honorable Bibi, the statement made on the floor, what was the message? What was the core message?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that the minister was trying to drum home the fact that the 8th of March every year should be observed as International Women's Year. And she praised government and the whole country for what they've been able to do for women. And then she recounted the few positions, higher positions that are held by women. She mentioned specifically about the Speaker of our country being a woman. She talked about the Chief Justice being a woman. Former attorney was a woman, but she's now moved to education. And she recounted a few others. And then when she finished, she also talked about sort of more treatment that are given to women that do not encourage them to go as high as they want to go. And again, she was also talking about the fact that we should, those of us who are up there, should serve as role model to the younger ones in the various institutions for them to come up. I think these were a few things that she mentioned that I do remember.
And maybe we should have made it, maybe in the next statement we can say that with the program, she was the first minister we brought. So first woman, minister who's a woman.
Yes. But I think she wrote the statement, so it was just clear.
So that she,
and maybe I could just add a little bit of, because what we did on Monday, was it Tuesday?
Right.
Tuesday, the 8th of March. Right. As they were reading the statement in the House, I was also at another function, whereby we brought a lot of young ladies from different schools, you know, and it was like a seminar that we brought out the issues surrounding the challenges of that we face as women. Starting from the schools, you know, we talked about even sexual harassment that affects our school girls, you know, that may impinge. Which is what
I wanted to find out, because after the statement was read by Honorable Bofo, which was the minister's statement, first of all, what was the reaction on the floor?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think it was met with joy, and interestingly, we have some of our men also joining in. I remember I also came in to contribute to her statement and congratulated her. And I was saying that yes, it is good that we celebrate this time, and it's a good thing that we have it every year. But I was stressing that we should not make it a 9-day wonder, because it looks like once we celebrate it 8th of March, that ends it. Nothing happens. Nothing seems to happen until the following year, the ensuing year, that we also have it following. So I was saying that we should have programs drawn up for the whole year, so that at the end of that year, before we go on to talk about the new theme, we should be able to use those criteria to assess what we have been able to achieve. I think I stressed on that. And I said that we have presented a statement on the floor of Parliament. It should not end there. All of us, especially the women parliamentarians, should go down to their constituencies, discuss that with them, and draw programs that would encourage them to know the essence of this.